Hi everyone, and welcome to week 3 in our Comm 102 class. We'll be doing some different things this week. I just want to take you through a quick run through of everything so you know what's expected as you go through. Just a reminder, questions and conversations. Don't forget to use that if you have a question that you feel just a general question might apply to others in the class. Feel free to use that. It's a more personal question about your own grades, your own assignments. Just email me, works best. We'll go ahead and jump into our objectives here for this week. There's really two main things you're doing this week. Your basic reading. Okay, I'll make it 3 things. Your basic reading, finding sources for your first speech, and starting to write an outline of your first speech. So that's the main gist of what you're doing. So there's several different things you'll get to go through. Hopefully it's good. It's a variety. There's some videos. There's some reading. All good content. It's not just all reading, so I hope that's a helpful thing as you go through. These are the preparation materials. You'll see here in a second you need to do a post about these later, and it's a little bit confusing. So this is what we mean by preparation materials. We'll get back to that. So a couple other things is we'll be using a tool called RefWorks. There are some videos here. There have been some problems with them in the past, so I'll find you another way to get help using RefWorks if you need to. So we'll talk about RefWorks more here in a second. So first thing is just a quick preview of your future speech. So coming up in 2 weeks, you'll be giving your first full-on practice speech, your first full speech for your informative one, and this just gives you a breakdown of what the rubric will look like for grading. So it's just good to plan ahead a little bit on that. Next up here is your quiz on your reading. I know there's some concerns about the accuracy of a few of the questions. Sometimes, unfortunately, I feel the developers of the course who put together all this content don't always update with the most recent version of the book. If you have problems, just email me the question, your answer, your justification, and I'm happy to review it and hopefully get it fixed for future semesters. So you'll go ahead and take your reading quiz after you completed that information. So this source assignment is what I was talking about. So back a couple screens where you're going through those videos and readings and everything, that's what's talking about objectives and preparation materials. So you'll just write a quick post about which one was the most helpful to you and why. So that's all you got to do. Get it done by the due date. You get full points on that. So after you completed that, you'll go ahead and post it here on the discussion board. And then after that's done, now you're starting to work on your intro and conclusion. So next week, you'll actually give just the intro and the conclusion of your informative speech. So to prepare for that, you're going to do an outline. And the book's going to give you some examples on what an outline looks like. You'll just kind of use basic kind of Roman numeral bullets, ideas to organize your ideas of what you're going to say in the intro and conclusion of that first speech. So it's a good thing to be thinking about that as you go through. You'll post it here for the intro and conclusion, where you'll load your outline. Remember to give feedback on that as well. So you're in small groups for this one. You'll post it. You'll go back in and make sure you give feedback to people on their outlines. So help them, give them some ideas. Finally, you're going to be working on sources. So it's important in a speech to add authority to what you're saying. You're using sources beyond yourself. You can't be the only expert on what you're saying. So you need to do some research. So RefWorks is the main tool that's being referenced here that you can use to organize your sources. I'm not going to require that you have to use RefWorks. If you want to, it's great. You can just go to refworks.com. I'll bring it up here. And it talks in the instructions about using a group code, but generally, I hope you don't have to do that. You can just come down here to sign up for a new account and just enter your information. If it asks you for a group code, it is here. It is listed right here. But if you're on campus, usually you won't need it. To give them all your information, create it, and you'll be taken here. It's not too hard to create a bibliography. You can kind of figure it out. It's a powerful tool if you want to get more into it. They have these video tutorials. You can find them here or up in Help. They have a whole series here of how to use this tool. If you're going to be writing a lot of papers, using a lot of sources, I highly recommend using RefWorks. If you're not, I'm okay with you using any bibliography generator. The important thing, though, is they do have to be formatted correctly. So you have these 5 sources that you need to submit on your first speech that are going to be used in your first speech. They do need to be in MLA format. However you want to do that. You can use RefWorks, you cannot. I'm okay either way on that. So after that, you'll just upload your RefWork or your sources to that area. And then you get your participation quiz. So that's the gist of this week. Make sure to go through and Make sure you understand all of it. I am going to try to get you feedback as soon as I can on your topics that you gave last week, so you have a little guidance going into which one you should choose to now get ready for your informative speech. So let me know any other way I can help you, and I'm excited to see your work.